everyone, welcome to the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up, the show where the team from UrbanVinylDaily.com goes over everything there is to know in the designer toy, art, street art, and Sofubi world. And that has Ben doing that hair thing he always does in every episode.
My eye, mmotherfucker.
Every episode he does that. But
Prove
anyway,
Go back to the footage. I scratched my eye.
This is episode
40. I'm about to beat you. I'm not going to beat you, but we don't beat our competitor. We beat our competitors. We don't beat our viewers. I might beat you.
So we tried to get political, I guess, with the title of our episode. And there was a fit of rage that ensued at the beginning of this episode. But anyway, now we want to take the chance to thank our sponsors, starting with Gallery F.
Rotofugi.
And Strange Cat Toys, where if you use the
for
code...
yet another week, we get to tell you about the letters U,
V,
D.
If you use that code at checkout, you'll receive 10% off your order. And guess what?
You can buy pins.
You can buy pins. You can buy Luna. You can buy all kinds of stuff over there from
Beard
other
wax.
places like
Beard oil.
other places like Kid Robot and whatnot. But we also will have something full circle at the end of this episode from Strange Cat Toys to talk about as well. But we're going to roll into the first piece of news, starting off with the fact that Rotofugi is having a drink and draw event on April 20th from 7 to 9 p.m. While you're there, you'll be able to hang out with some creative types like yourself and doodle and draw and try to make me come up with some new ideas about, some designer toy while you're there.
Just remember, the more you drink, the more creative you are. At least that's what you think when you're drinking.
So the event is BYOB, or AKA known as Bring Your Own Beverage.
Bring your own broad.
Because we are
Nobody's stealing other people's broads.
We're not going to lock you into the beer word, but you can BYOB to that event. And guess what? Have a lot of fun with all the BYOB. And so make sure to check it out. April 20th, 7 to 9 p.m.
First piece out of me is the release of several prints from Jermaine Rogers, which a couple of them commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Houston Art Car Parade, which just happened recently. So he has a handful of those, which have all the show information and event information on it for $60. And then he also has two different colors of the artist edition that strip away all the affiliated Houston art car stuff. One of them is the Opal edition, which is 20 pieces for $60. The other one is the Lava Foil edition, which is 20 pieces for $90. They are 24 inches by 19 inches, which Travis commented in our last take is 1 inch short of being a conventional frame. So just chuck it in the frame or put a mat around it, whatever floats your boat for these.
Just fold it over and put a little crease on the edge.
And then second is two smaller prints, 10 inches by 8 inches, part of his, I guess he's trying to boot up a Melancholy series. The Opal, I believe, is an open edition, and so is the Lava. The Opal is $20 and the Lava is $25. The first of the two prints is entitled At Times David Was Absolutely Covered in Melancholy, which I assume is David Bowie, a favorite of Jermaine and Manny. The second is In the Evening, Frida Would Lay Down with Melancholy. Again, Frida is one of Jermaine's popular figures in his prints. So those will be available this coming Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Very cool. Next up, Obsessed Panda and fan of the show, Planet 3 Toys.
One of our only fans.
Will be teaming up to release a new Bozu edition. This one is called The Eater of Rainbows. It's a micro run that will be releasing this Sunday, which happens
to be raising from the dead on Sunday.
Happens to be Easter Sunday, April 16th. And the piece features like a clear soft vinyl base with a clear rainbow effect on the outside of it. No details on the time or the price just yet, so make sure to follow Planet 3 Toys on Instagram to keep up with the latest release details. If you know anything about this figure, it's pretty popular, goes pretty quick, and so you're not going to want to miss it if you're trying to buy one of these. If you're one of those people that hasn't got one yet, unlike myself, I already got one.
But not this one.
Not this one. I have one, but not this one.
Well, now that that's settled. Next piece for me, tiny bit winded, but it's worth it. Ewok, also known as Mr. EwokOne, but not an Ewok from Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. We went over this in the first take, but he is orchestrating a 8-print set that is 18 inches by 20 inches for each print. It is an edition of 100 each. They are $225 for the set, April 10th through 14th, so this is acting as a pre-sale. And April 15th and onward is the public release for $250 if any are left. And so the reason behind this is Diva, who is a graffiti artist from NYC, is encountering a lot of medical bills for a serious medical condition that I don't want to guess at, so I don't want to say the wrong thing. She's encountering, so artists are banding together, and Ewok has been very, very helpful in helping her raise money. And so the 8 artists that are in this print set are Revs X Soup, Peak Vic, Ewok, Cycle, Smith, Lady Pink, Slash FTR, and Risk 9 Angry Eel. So those 8 artists together, $225, whereas Ewok's print alone usually sells for $200.
Yeah.
So effectively, you're getting 7 other very good artists for $25.
Yeah.
So
and at the same time, helping somebody out
yeah.
that needs a little help.
So if you go to Mr. EwokOne on Instagram, you can see all of the details of where to send the money, since this isn't one of these click the button on a website sort of things.
It's to send it to somebody on PayPal.
You send it to PayPal. He gets the receipt, catalogs your purchase, and
puts them in a tube.
And puts them in a tube. Puts a lot of extras in there. Some of them may be remarked or defaced or just added incentive for you to do it, because he never disappoints.
Yeah.
And so I think he said there's about a 2-week turnaround time once he corrals everyone up to sign the prints.
Yeah. So should be a really cool way to help somebody out that's in need at the moment. It's kind of like doing like a GoFundMe, but you're actually getting something out of it. So that's always, well, not something like I didn't say that correctly. It's like you're getting something in return for supporting the cause, but really the cause is what you're getting in return is helping somebody out that needs it.
It's just an added benefit.
Yep. Added benefit of doing it. So next up, Chris Ryniak is releasing a new pin. What would a week be without pin news?
Pins.
So Chris Ryniak is releasing the Glittery Sparkle Pony Pin, and they go on sale. They go on sale April 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And the cool thing to point out about this is the fact that they actually do have like metallic paint in the pin.
Super sparkly, just like Travis's favorite.
Yeah, so it's just it's one of those things that you don't really always see that in the pins. So it's really cool to see like a metallic paint job. No word on the price. We'll assume they're around $10. But basically, what it is a unicorn version of his like thimble stump hollow looking characters. Yep. And it's available at bindlewood.com.
All right. Next piece up is a piece we've talked about and highlighted in the past for a previous edition, but the Silent Stage Absent ABCNT 6-inch clear bust with the bandana over the mouth is limited to 25 pieces at $100 each and is currently available at silentstage.com.
Sweet. It's cool to when those pieces finally come around and we get to see, because we teased that particular one a long time ago.
Yeah.
But there was a release in between. So it's always cool when we're able to circle back for people. Next up, famous neon sign maker. And some of you may know his artwork.
Which I can't imagine there's a lot of famous neon sign makers, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, so he's famous for taking his medium for artwork is utilizing the neon signs. And his name is Patrick Martinez. Some of you may know him. We've seen work from him at places like the Library Street Collective in Detroit and many, many other galleries across the country. But he will be having a new solo exhibition called the American Memorial. A lot of his artwork is politically charged, as I showed Ben earlier. He had a sign that says all men created, and then you can see equal, but it's not lit. So things like that. But he also has just things that are fun sayings and things like that. But this will be taking place on May 25th. And it'll run until September 10th. It'll be held at the Cornell Fine Art Museum at Rollins College, which turns out happens to be in Winter Park, Florida. So if you happen to be down in that neck of the woods anytime around May 25th, make sure to stop in, check it out. His stuff is always really, really cool. It's not something that really kind of crosses into the designer toy world because the medium just does not translate. But it's really cool to see his stuff in person. So if you happen to be in the area, make sure to check it out.
All right. Next up is from Corey Helford Gallery, who packed 2 different pieces of news into their release. So I'm going to try to pull it apart a little bit. The first piece was that they are involved with the Context Art Fair in New York City that goes from May 3rd through the 7th. And the correlation to that is that one of the artists that's in that art fair will have an art opening in Los Angeles at Corey Helford Gallery. It is Eric Joyner, and his exhibition will be Tarsus Bandon Dot, which from the images showed robots fighting each other, which is what the press release said is he's kind of known for fighting robots, as you would say on Futurama. fighting one another and so on and so forth. And that's in gallery number 1. Gallery 2, within their 3-gallery setup, is Lori Nelson, who has Crypto Tweeners, Find My Friends, which the piece they showed off was a Salem era looking, witchy looking woman with an iPod on. So,
ooh, witchy woman. Sorry.
But so that's kind of our expansion on what we think may be. So it's old era stuff with new era crap. So like an iPod.
Old era stuff with new era flair.
Like we're at Fridays. And Gallery 3 features Sergio Lopez with Painted Roses and Iva Troy with Fallow and Fire.
Very cool. If you happen to be out in the Los Angeles area, it's always a cool place to check out. We love Corey Helford Gallery. They're very nice people over there, so make sure to stop in and check it out while you still can. Next up, Dr. A has revealed a release for ToyCon UK. His latest colorway of his Mandrake Root Sofubi, produced by none other than Toy Art Gallery, will be releasing a new 5-piece edition. This colorway features a straw body with olive green rubs and copper for eyes. It's 65 pounds. I almost said dollars. 65 pounds, and it'll be available at the Dr. A booth. They have not revealed the booth numbers that I could find as of yet. So when you walk in, just scream, Dr. A, I need your booth.
Or in a British accent that we're not going to butcher, since we imagine most people may be British or European.
Or the better solution might be to find a map before you walk in and figure out where his booth is. But like I said, you can grab it at his booth for 65 pounds. And any of them that do not sell will be made available via Dr. A's web store after the event.
Next up is a Kickstarter. It is the Jim Henson Exhibition Kickstarter at the Museum of Moving Image Gallery in New York City. And so effectively the $40,000 that they asked for has already been raised, but it's Muppets, so big surprise. What they're effectively trying to do is restore and preserve like the Muppets that they have in hand. So it's ye old first edition, straight off Jim Henson's hand and Frank Oz's hands Muppets. So they're hoping to put them in an exhibition in New York City and actually hoping to travel it around. I guess they're hoping to start it off at Seattle and I guess hope to tour it across the U.S. So effectively what they're trying to do is show kids young and old and super old the joy of the Muppets and try to bring the Muppets in front of people.
Yeah. So it's always cool when they do little traveling events like that. Currently, Star Wars is doing a similar thing where it's the costumes from the event, from the movies. They're traveling across the country. It's going to be down at Cincinnati in the Union Terminal pretty soon. So it's always cool to see events like this and kind of bring things from your childhood or from the past, and a whole new generation gets to enjoy it. And hopefully parents are able to, and kids at the same time are able to learn from it and see and kind of, build that bond that connects the old to the new and creates a whole new generation of fans for property.
Plus, what world could we live in when people did not know or love Muppets?
Yeah. I feel like there was a time probably where the Muppets were going through a dark time. And then the Muppet Babies came along and got a whole new generation.
I don't know. They still
Muppet
had
fans.
Eureka's Castle. They still had stuff like
Eureka's
that.
Castle was not the Muppets, though.
It really looked like
But it was not. You're thinking of Fraggle Rock. That was Jim Henson's.
I am thinking of Eureka's Castle, but obviously Fraggle Rock is Henson.
Yeah. And when everybody always kind of forgets also that Sesame Street,
Well, yeah.
Because, I mean, that's all still the same, group of people doing
Muppeteers.
that. So, yeah. So, I mean, the Muppets have been, all over the place, but it's just always really cool when they travel old stuff around like that and people get to see pieces that were actually used in the show. It's kind of like game used memorabilia.
Yeah.
So next up, we have a kind of another good cause type situation, but what it is called Art Gives Me Hope. It's a group show taking place at Communitas in Chicago, Illinois, and it opens today, April 13th. It starts at 6:30 p.m. So if you're watching this, make sure to clear your calendar now because it's tonight. But anyway, it features the artist Ello working with bucket feet, probably customizing some shoes, I'm guessing. And next, it also includes Shepard Fairey and Alkaline Trio and Chicago's own Matt Skiba.
Wait, He wasn't part of Blink-182?
He is now, but he's from Chicago, and he also was from Alkaline Trio. And there's many, many more, but those were just the 3 names that we pulled off the list that kind of stuck out to us. But it's a pretty cool looking show. Tara McPherson was also in the show. But the cool thing about it is that all the proceeds from the show will be utilized to support mental health issues and suicide intervention charities that will help people that are going through some tough times and maybe aren't reaching out for help in the correct way. And hopefully they can help people that need help and may not be trying to get it, and through this kind of a charity thing. So if you happen to be a fan of the cause or a fan of the artwork, make sure to stop in, support the show, grab a piece if you have the means, because it's going to a really good cause. So
the last piece out of me, and I think last piece out of us collectively, is Tim Doyle had showed off the Hagrid's Shack print that will be part of his contribution to the what seems like annual, which I think is annual, Unreal Estate show, which is not in San Francisco this time. It is in the Spoke Art Gallery, New York City location, and will be opening May 6th.
Yeah.
So for those who are not familiar with the past incarnations and present incarnation, or having supported the Kickstarter book, what Tim Doyle does is kind of a dystopian take on popular places like Simpsons, Futurama, Seinfeld, 6 Feet Under, Deadwood, Sopranos, Smurfs.
Basically a lot of TV shows.
Yeah.
And movies.
Anything that it's effectively it's pop culture. Anything that's pop culture gets a little bit of the Tim Doyle treatment. So always super popular. I know I own a handful of them.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm gonna admit, but I've sold a couple of prints that people threw ridiculous money at, so I'm not gonna turn them down. So that's the story, and I have a couple still.
Yeah, so it's a cool show. It's cool to see different takes on popular things from your favorite TV show or whatever. So if you're a fan of having some pop culture type artwork, this is a great way to get some that's not exact reproductions of the the artwork from the TV show or wherever you're from. So always cool.
So as Travis illuminated a little bit early in the episode, we are doing a full circle in that we
full circle.
We talked about Strange Cat toys and we talked about Jermaine Rogers, and so we were afforded 2 of the distribution pins from the Jermaine Rogers pin series that he's implementing. The first is the Choices. The second is the We Carry Each Other. And so these are the 2-inch pins that are available everywhere, including Strange Cat toys, and you can save 10% with UVD. And these are $12 a piece. So here's one. I have the other. And so even just taking these off the backer, they have the plasticky rubber backers. And looking at them, that they are super, they're legitimately thick.
Yeah.
They're sturdy, they're dense, they are not going anywhere.
Yeah, these are super thick, so you're not going to have to worry about them bending or anything like that. Another cool thing to point out is it's almost like they're hard enamel, but it's almost like they're kind of like printed on. They got a lot of detail. If you know Jermaine's work, he has a lot of I don't know how to describe it, kind of like scratchy looking detail that he uses to shadow with.
I guess some people call it
rough edges or whatever, but they captured that in the hard enamel, which is not easy to do as somebody who has produced pins myself. So I'm kind of excited to see that.
And so something that's incidentally unfortunate is if you look at the backer card, the bear, the Diro, has a hole between his eyes and a hole through his groin. So probably not the most pleasant, but it's a piece of cardboard, so he doesn't have any feelings. And so with the fact that this is called the Classics series, that they don't have the Choices or the We Carry Each Other name on here, this to us, I guess we had said before, is
we're reading into something that may not be a thing, but we're assuming it is.
we may see a Diro on here, but it's also long enough that we could have some of the the sideways pieces where it's like the rabbit crying.
Creeping Diro.
There's a creeping Diro.
The Diro that's crying when he's laying on his side.
Yeah.
But
there's I think I'm losing my mind, which is obviously a stand-up one.
Yeah, but I'm guessing these have done well, so I'm assuming we will see a different version of this in the future. Another cool thing to point out is he actually does have the Diro logo on the back side of the pin. So it's like raised metal made into the mold, so that's really cool. They do feature 2 pins on the back. So it'll stay in place, so it'll stay upright, or however you put it on, whatever you stick it on. I personally am not the biggest fan of these rubber backer things. I know they're the cool thing to do at the moment. But if you are actually sticking it on something, they can come off from time to time. If you get a lot of movement or something in the area that you put it. So do be careful with that. But it's a great pin. It's much larger than most pins that we see. It actually, we made some pins and we weren't really sure how big they were going to come out. And they seemed like they were massive, and these are actually bigger. So
yeah, these are 2 inchers.
Yeah, so these are really hefty pins, and really cool thing. $12,
Yep.
Not a bad price for such a large pin. So.
Again, you can find these at Strange Cat Toys, UVD 10%, blah blah blah. You can also find these at other fine retailers like Rotofugi and anywhere else that doesn't happen to be a sponsor that may want to be a sponsor eventually.
Yep.
But anywhere, everywhere, go buy them. Blah blah blah.
Yep. So we're giving them. I'm going to give them 4.5 UVD bears.
We're bringing back the bears.
We're bringing back the bears. We keep forgetting, and now they're back. So.
I'll do a 4 3/4.
4 3/4.
So it's like he's like missing the bust is what he's missing. He's like all bear, no bust.
So, but anyway, to cheaply plug ourselves, we will throw out there that you can pick up our new Enamel Pinata series currently from UVDtoys.com. We have designs from Mike Giant, the graffiti artist Pez, and Señor Nacho.
I am Señor Nacho.
Yeah. So all 3 designs are available for $10 a piece at UVDtoys.com. And we want to say thank you to everybody who has already ordered them. They're going very well, and we're very happy with where we're at on the sales. So this is hopefully a sign that we'll be able to make some more. But the good news is for people that ordered before Monday, all of those pins have shipped. Everything that's happened since Monday, I am currently packing those orders, and we'll be making a trip to the post office more than likely tomorrow. So if you want it shipped, you need to order, which tomorrow being today, if you're watching the show, so you need to order today if you want them shipped today.
Yeah.
So make sure to head over to UVDtoys.com, pick those up. We're also excited to announce more projects are moving forward. So yeah. Make sure to keep an eye out at Urban Vinyl Daily over on Instagram for teasers and things like that. And
as we move forward with our Luna show, we'll probably start to show in progress shots that were sent.
Yeah, so I already shared one of those yesterday, actually, from one MJ Sue.
Dr. A has, I think, started to work on his.
Yeah, we're seeing some other people working on their pieces. So if you happen to want to check that out, Rotofugi did make a Facebook event. So search the Rotofugi Luna Custom Show on Facebook, and you'll find the group event. You can keep up with what's going on during the, from Rotofugi, if any changes or anything like that are going on. If you happen to be in Chicago, make sure to check us out. May 5th, opening reception. It's BYOB, so bring your favorite beer and bring me one too, because I'll be there. And the big news is the bots are going to be there as well.
The elusive bots.
So if you
who's to say that we're not the bots?
So if you've been looking to try to meet that couple for a while, now's your chance. So
we're going to throw them under the bus and say, "Bring your sketch pads."
Bring your sketch pads. But anyway, so if you've been looking to meet them, that's a good chance to finally get them out in the public sphere. Maybe you can get a picture with them. I don't know. We'll see. So
I guess before we get into our final farewells. Yep. Someone's getting married this weekend.
Yes, I am. So
while after he's getting married, I will be on vacation next week, and you will have as your 2 hosts a newlywed couple. Not me, him. I am happily married, but they're the newlyweds. So him, and for her redemption episode, his new wife, Jenny, where they will be talking about a print that we will leave to your imagination and their discussion next week that they had commissioned for the special occasion.
Yeah, so we had a few things done print-wise and a couple other things we tried to incorporate throughout the wedding process, utilizing art and trying to keep it us. So we'll give a little bit about that, but we'll also talk about the news as always, and just have a fun time talking about something just a little bit different than we normally talk about on UVD. So hopefully you guys dig it. If not, write us a hate mail, UVD Toys or
Don't blame me.
urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com. So another cheap plug, keep an eye out on the Designer Toy Awards on Instagram. They're going to be looking for fan voting in the next week or so. I'm getting ready for the DTAs. You're going to want to vote for your favorite blog or podcast, UVD
and
Weekly Wrap-Up.
Your favorite vinyl toy that happened to have antlers and lanterns and was a little bit about this size.
It's going to have a custom show.
It's going to have a custom show.
So you're going to want to keep an eye out for that, designertoyawards.com. So make sure to go over there and vote for your favorite items. There's all kinds of stuff within the fan categories that you can choose from. So, but that kind of wraps up the show for the week. So as always, I'm Travis.
And I'm Ben.
Have a great designer toy day. Thanks for checking out our video right here on youtube.com/urbanvinyldaily. While you're here, make sure to give us a subscribe and a like. And if you're so gracious, you can share this video on your favorite social network. You can always give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter @UrbanVinylDaily, or find us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/UrbanVinylDaily, and you'll be able to keep up with our latest posts and information going on in the world of UVD. If you want to help us out in more of a monetary way, you can always head over to our store, urbanvinyldaily.storeenvy.com, and check out all the awesome things we have available from great artists from all over the world. Or you can head over to our PayPal and just straight up donate to us to help us keep the lights on and keep things going by going to paypal.com and sending money over to urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com. And that will help us out in more ways than you know. If you want to keep up with everything going on in the world of UVD, make sure to head over to urbanvinyldaily.com. Or if you're interested in sponsorship information, a comment, or a question, make sure to head over to urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com and send us a message. And if it's good enough, we'll answer it right here on the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up. As always, this has been an Urban Vinyl Daily production.